there, YouTube! Welcome to another collaborative joint reactionary slot with my good friend Tia, who has absolutely not been tormenting me through today's reactionary sections whatsoever. And this lovely goblin, along with Twitch chat over there, are joining us for another edition of SCP containment reacting to scary SCPs with Volgan.
Hey, before the video goes any further, I just want to let you know that we have a Patreon, where you can support me, the fantabulous Makari, and get awesome perks for it, such as behind-the-scenes footage, early access, patron-exclusive reactionaries, and voting on future content, and so much more. Or heck, you can even just follow for free to get updates on all the goings-on within the Kari mansion. With all that being said, thank you very much for listening, and please, enjoy the video.
This document was recovered from the site-redacted precious document vault.
Ooh, spooky.
Anomalous object, AO-1504, WGG-YXJK.
Yo,
Item
JK, JK.
description, an unremarkable man who was not able to be harmed.
So every DC hero ever? No, I'm being serious, like, why is that every DC hero ever?
Date of recovery. Location of recovery. Current status. AO-1504 is held in a standard humanoid containment cell, which has been stricken from the document and replaced with missing.
1.
Addendum 1504-1. Interviewed AO-1504. Interviewer Dr. Lloyd. Forward. AO-1504 is being questioned on its background. Playing log now.
What is your name? I don't remember. Joe something. Okay.
Oh no. Hey guys. Joe Mama, right? Joe Mama? Joe Mama? See, we were talking about something the other day, and it made me kind of think of things in the regards of like, because I was reading something about SCP-3000, I think it was. I can't remember what it was exactly. I think it was because yeah, no, I remember now. It was because I was watching Papa Meat and the friend he has, the other guy. Yeah, the guy he does his little podcast with. They were reading something about SCP-3000 and how, like, the whole world of the SCP universe, yeah, there's a lot of, like, categorizations for things that are SCPs, but then they come across things like, yeah, Wendigo, but that's the one. They come across things like SCP-3000, and they classify it as an SCP, when in reality, it is quite literally just an old god that they've tried to, like, normalize and treat like any other SCP would be, when in reality it's something that should probably have been left the fuck alone. And I wonder, like, there are SCPs like this that are so mundane and so bland that you question whether it's anything, because the categorization for something SCP related kind of pertains to the fact that it's like otherworldly, anomalous, or something of that nature. But things like SCP-3000 or people like this in this regard, you almost consider maybe that's just like a natural thing that's existed, and the classification of an SCP ends up treating them in a way that they would treat actual SCPs. Like, figuring out where that, like, boundary of organic entity that exists of its own, like, hyperbolic bubble, if you will, versus something that was anomalous. It's kind of an interesting kind of, like, spectrum to see where they land on that. And you notice, like, a lot of the time when stuff goes wrong within the SCP universe, it's usually because the SCP Foundation or one of the other foundations are treating an SCP that isn't necessarily an SCP in of itself. They're treating something like an SCP or treating it in a way that tries to quantify it as something rational. I don't know, that's just like a bit of a theory, a little bit of a theory I have going in my mind about how a lot of the stuff and storytelling ends up in this series.
Now, what year were you born? 1982. Thank you for the year. But do you have an exact date? No. I never knew when I was born. Oh, excuse me. My nose is bleeding.
Get that man a tissue.
I'm sorry. That was weird. I've never been prone to random nosebleeds. It's fine. Maybe a storm is coming. I've heard the changing
Ominous.
air pressure can make a person's nose bleed. Maybe. Do you know why you can't...
Mine does. I suffer from horrendous storm headaches. Like, when there's a massive pressure drop coming, I get horrible headaches. And I have actually had a nosebleed once or twice. It's like the air pressure difference.
be heard?
Because I am the storm that is approaching.
I don't really want to talk about it. That's fine. Thank you for your cooperation with
Oh
today's
god, and this is like this is something that it's like the Plague Doctor SCP, right? How they treat humanoid SCPs like things. Because this guy, he just seems like a guy, right? And they're treating him like he's this anomalous, like he's not, like he's lost to any semblance of humanity he has. That dehumanization hits so hard and makes it so uncomfortable to listen to. Like they're talking to him like he doesn't like he's just a guy, right? And they're talking to him like he doesn't have any of that humanity, or to be treated like he hasn't got any of that humanity to him.
You may return to your room.
Yeah, like almost abusively clinical.
Addendum 1504-2.
We didn't know his true anomaly. We didn't know what he could really do. I guess he affects computers, too. Our automatic security system began to have hiccups. A breach here, a breach there, but nothing that surprised us. But then, our Keter got out. Only about half of the staff here realized it. The other half all died.
Oh,
We managed
shoot.
to contain it.
So I wonder if this is like the monkey's paw man. Like it's not so much like he himself is immortal, but like he changes the reality of luck and fate around him. Like the man who's able to see 2 seconds ahead of him and all realities therein, and is able to choose the one perfect reality to follow. It's an interesting one because it takes the idea of like choice and premonition and all that kind of stuff. Like there's almost this like cognito effect that's happening around him that's affecting the probability of bad things happening in a way. Or maybe it is just like an electronic interference around him. I don't know. It's what I'm getting from it.
Request for more staff, but they never responded. Our supplies were dwindling, so we asked for more. Nothing. They didn't even acknowledge our existence. We had more breaches, more deaths, yet we never questioned these breaches or these deaths. I don't know why we didn't question those deaths.
Ah, so he's affecting the cognition of people around him.
We had a site-wide containment breach. All the doors opened because of those hiccups I mentioned earlier. Most of the remaining staff members are dead. Those who are still alive are few and far between.
Oh no.
We can't contain a breach of this magnitude. All other Foundation sites.
So this is one of those dudes that goes from being a contained type anomaly. Oh, what was that? There was an SCP that was like that, where he was too dangerous to be... So we got raided, and I totally lost track of what my train of thought was, and I'm sure in editing I'll look back at it and be like, yes, cognitive effects or something. It doesn't matter. Either way, cognitive effects, interesting semantics about containment and all that jazz. Where, oh yeah, no, I remember. Where it's one of those SCPs that are, it's actually safer to leave them out in the wild than have them in containment. Like there's a couple of SCPs, like I think there was one that was like God or something, or like the pious man or something, where he had this aura around him that just brought bad luck and catastrophe to everything around him. I feel like this guy is kind of like that. I think. Either way, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Sites will probably ignore it. They'll cite it as completely normal and ignore it. I'm gonna put this in the vault, then set off the on-site nuke. I'm already badly hurt, and the blast would save more lives than it will end.
Womp womp.
If anyone ever finds this, tell my wife that I love her. And I'm sorry for spending so much time in my job. Tell her that I said goodbye, and that I'm thinking of her as I die. This is researcher Darrell Lloyd. Signing
Damn.
out.
For a SCP for a person or an SCP that they thought was so simple, that went horribly wrong real quick.
The site nuclear warhead was detonated on to counteract a Class 7 containment breach. A total of anomalies were destroyed in the blast, 2 anomalies were recovered, and 2 anomalies are missing, including AO-1504. The Foundation personnel died inside.
Oh, that's crazy.
This
No, thanks, Dean. Have a good night,
document
dude.
has been updated per the new information recovered from site redacted.
Item number SCP-1504.
Are they going to be smart enough to keep him away, though? Why would they contain him again?
Special containment procedures. SCP-1504 is not currently contained.
Yeah, that's what
If
I
any
thought.
Foundation personnel
That's what I
see
thought.
the subject,
Gran,
they
hi,
have
hon.
to contact the current project head.
Who can't
In the
hide you,
event
hi? Mwah.
SCP-1504 is found, it is to be brought to Area 114 and contained in a 3x3x3 meter containment chamber. To enter the subject's containment
You
chamber,
know that people say that that they try and contain me and what have you. I'm sorry, but even in my short stack form, there ain't no container that's going to stop me from causing mischief and chaos wherever I go. Isn't that right, Tia?
I'll put you in the jar again.
I stand corrected. There is one place you can put me that will prevent me from causing chaos and mischief. God damn it!
chamber, a total of 4 level 3 staff members are needed. 2 staff members must remain inside the control room to remotely enact the failsafe should a containment breach occur.
So
The
I
failsafe
wonder, because
consists
I
of-
don't think, like, this seems like one of those kind of SCPs where he's not willingly trying to cause problems. It's just he has this, like, cognitive aura effect around him, like a cognito hazard of sorts that just affects the stuff around him. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm probably saying you're best to just leave him out in the wild and study him from a distance rather than bringing him close to the things that you need to keep protected.
True.
It's a little bit similar to that of the Plague Doctor. Like, I say this about the Plague Doctor because, like, I feel like the Plague Doctor is one of those other SCPs that, you know, he's obviously, like, anomalous, but he very much has the sort of sentience and mind of a human, albeit, like, singular-minded in its own pursuit. But when you deal with, like, SCPs that have this human element to them, it's always so jarring to see them get treated in a way that's not necessarily human. And then whether they're, like, aware, like, it's like if a human got their superpowers, right? Like, I'm just a guy, and then you wake up one day and all of a sudden everything around you gets fucked up just because of your existence. Kind of like what it's like having a VTuber. Is this what they call Riz aura?
Never say these words to me again, ever.
Yeah, minus 100 aura points, bruv.
Flooding the containment chamber and surrounding areas with halothane vapor, which is
Hi, what
proven
up?
to be the only viable method to incapacitate SCP-1504. Viable method to incapacitate SCP-1504 was stricken from the document. Extensive research has shown that SCP-1504 can be incapacitated by blunt force trauma to the head.
What?
The subject is to be kept fully
Just like me, for
confined
real, for
I
real.
know, right?
incapacitated at
Just want
all
somebody to come up
times
behind you and give
through
you a
the use
back
of
shot.
restraints.
That's not what that means. You gotta quit saying that.
In hindsight, I know that might not have been the best thing to have
gotta
said.
quit
I know.
saying that, Kari.
I'm
Jesus.
sorry. It's just the
It's
thing that
not
makes the
what it
most sense. I'm
means, you
sorry. I'm sorry.
Tiny puntable creature.
And halothane vapor. Other staff members must release multiple
I mean, unless your name is
locks
Gren, in which case you've got an open invite
A
for back
minimum
shots
of
for hey.
4 guards are to be protecting them
That's
this
it.
time.
That's it. I've had
After
enough.
all
Put
locks
the
are
clown nose
released,
on, Kari.
one staff member may
Clown nose? I don't think I even have a clown nose in this thing.
You do. It's a default asset in
Is it?
VTube Studio.
Okay, fine. You know what? I
Put the
deserve
goddamn
this.
clown nose on.
I deserve this. Where is it? Where's my clown nose? I don't think I have it. You sure?
Yep, it's a default
Oh,
asset.
there it is. All right, fine. Fine. Real funny, wise guy. Honk honk, motherfuckers. Yeah, no, this is totally deserved.
to the containment chamber. The guards must be ready for a containment breach.
I think you stuck it
at
to your
all
hair,
times.
not
The
even to your
containment
nose.
chamber
Shut up.
Is open. No automatic
Honk, honk.
systems may be used
Honk if
in
you're
Area
horny.
114. All doors and
Time for some
containers
classy.
using simple combination locks or simple padlocks.
So yeah,
All
he
personnel
as a
working at
person is
Area
not the threat. It's whatever he's
114 must have a high
projecting.
aptitude
Like
for
some
parapsychology or a strong
radical
resilience to
liberal
perception
projecting
shifts.
political agendas.
Description: SCP-1504
Minus
is a
respectful aura
Caucasian
points,
male,
if you will.
standing at 1.95
Whatever the fuck that
meters
means.
tall. The
I don't know what
subject's
the fuck that
appearance
means.
is
You just made that up.
unremarkable.
No, it's it is legitimately a thing. I heard the Costco guys. Something about the Costco guys, or something. I don't. It exists. It's some like Skibbity Rizzler, Ohio terminology or whatever you kids call it these days.
From a small birthmark on its right shoulder.
You're the only one who's a skippity anything,
SCP-1504's
hon. You're
anomalous
never
traits
escaping those
include its
allegations.
inability to be harmed or killed.
I
actions carried out-
wonder if like the physical being you see is a projection, and it's only what your cognitive mind perceives. When in reality, you know, you trying to harm this thing is just you harming nothing. And in reality, you're not actually seeing what you're touching. You're just perceiving you're touching something that isn't there. So you're not actually harming its true form, if you will.
Out by SCP-1504 will be perceived by surrounding individuals as being within expectations for the situation.
So this very much
SCP-1504
this definitely like goes down the avenue of humans versus what is known versus what hasn't been studied. Like, we as humans have very defined and very clear avenues of perception, you know, what we can see, what we can touch, what we can smell. If we can see it, smell it, touch it, we can understand it. But there are contemplations of, you know, extra dimensions, extra senses, your fifth eye, your third eye, sorry. You know, what this is like a lot of SCP elements delve the idea of what lies beyond our simple concept of reality. And, you know, based in like some based in like the theories of relativity and all that kind of jazz, it's stuff that feels unsettling because it's stuff that we contemplate in our real life. It's like the SCP concept delves with the idea of our real world's what if. You know, what if in our real world these concepts of alternate realities, alternate senses, different planes of existence were more of a manifestation? And that's the thing that's A, unsettling as fuck, but B, really fucking awesome. I love those kind of concepts. Because these are like, it's why I get really bored with the SCPs that are like catastrophically world ending, because they're so two-dimensional. Like, oh, SCP-001, how's it gonna create an end of the world scenario this time? Oh, it's gonna blow up the world because you didn't sacrifice enough virgins? Oh, so original. Yawn. See, that's why I like the SCPs that are a bit more liminal space based, or like this guy where it's more of a, it's like some relevance to our world. It's like, what if that did exist in our world? It's like, it's like some levels of groundedness. Something that you ask has that relatability to our sort of, the viewer's world, if you will. So fascinating, so fascinating. I think that's why I like the Volgan's depiction. Like, really well done SCP videos are the ones that make you put yourself in those shoes. And it's kind of like how I can't really watch things like Dr. Bob anymore, because they're fine and everything, and it's nice to see like these stories being told, but they get a little bit repetitive, and it's probably why they don't do as well these days, because there's only so many times you can be told a story about a monster or a world-ending catastrophe before it gets a little bit boring. But when you get the stories that put you in those in those positions, it becomes way more relatable. It's the same archetype of storytelling for horror. The best kind of horror stories look at anything by Lovecraft or Geiger, for example. A lot of the concepts of their horror story, of their horror telling, is the idea of the what if it was you, the psychological side of putting it as a feasible thing that could happen to you. And again, I'm not saying that these Dr. Bob things are bad, because occasionally I'll put these on and watch them, because they're kind of fun. But to me, SCP balances itself on the border between horror and diegetic storytelling, with enough relatability to, and the best ones are the ones that feel real. It's like the one we watched a while ago with the extra dimensional hotel. That felt real because it was grounded in things we know that had been mutated and transformed to an irrational and like something that you could see existing, but had been bastardized in just enough of a way so that it wasn't outlandish, but questioned the rationality of the world that we exist in. And that's what makes these kind of SCPs infinitely more interesting than any of the catastrophic world-ending ones. That and the liminal spaces. I love liminal spaces. It's why I love the backrooms. Also, Wishy, hi. You guys go follow Wishy. Wishy's amazing.
Has been known to attack personnel, who will then believe circumstance or their own doing has hurt them. The subject is able to affect
You're
electronic
amazing.
and automatic systems.
No, you.
SCP-1504
Also, you ready for Stalker 2?
was brought to the attention of the Foundation because
I'm
of
ready
its
for Stalker 2.
inability to be harmed, and was classified as
Yeah,
the
can't wait
lion
for those
object
bugs
after
to
initial
crash
testing.
the game horrifically.
The subject was held at site in the anomalous object wing of the facility. A site-wide security failure and subsequent containment breach resulted in the on-site nuclear warhead being detonated. SCP-1504 was declared missing after a search of the site did not reveal a confirmed.
Dude, the executives at SCP were like, hey, so we, the first base that had to be nuked from inside, that was just a happenstance, right? There's no way that a reality-bending SCP could possibly cause another base to need to be nuked, right? Again, clarifying my point that half of the stuff that happens in the SCP world only happens because the SCP Foundation are fucking stupid.
The above document was found.
What a good girl.
Mobile Task Force ETA-6, aka Awareness Filters, was formed to find
girl.
SCP-1504.
You're shivering, you good?
Tia, we're trying to watch SCP stuff. Come on.
1504-1.
Sorry.
Stop
Okay,
accosting me with your
dog
platitudes.
and sent through multiple
Look, my
filters.
dog's wanted
It was
attention.
discovered that SCP-1504's
You're a good girl too,
responses
Kari.
In front of my clown nose, really?
I'm not sure which is harder, your clown nose or your clown nose.
I'm gonna rewind and hope that in editing I know to keep this out of the video. Hey, if I left this in the final video, you know what? Patron-only content. This bit will be in Patron
Oh my
and only
God.
Patron. So if you're watching on Patreon, you're welcome.
Addendum
She's not gonna remember.
1504-1. After being further analyzed and sent through multiple filters, it was discovered that SCP-1504's responses were different from what was previously reported.
Yeah, okay, so he that's kind of what, like, the way this was being projected, that's what it is. He alters the reality around him. And then, from what it seems like, the concept is that you see the truth of what happens under a different guise. Interesting. So what you see happening isn't what actually happens, it's what he's projecting to have happened.
The document has been updated to include these responses. Interviewed, SCP-1504. Interviewer, Dr. Lloyd.
Ooh,
Forward.
Dr. Lloyd.
SCP-1504 is being questioned on its background. Playing log, now.
What is your name? I'm not gonna tell you. You'll just ignore me.
Oh shit! So even what he says. Oh, so it's not even something he controls. Oh, that's wild. That must be maddening. Like, imagine trying to talk to someone and you're trying to tell them that there's a fire in your house and all they hear you saying is that, like, oh, you look nice today. Nice weather, right? Oh, that would be absolutely maddening. What the fuck?
That's awful.
That is, you're literally, you're not only are you causing the distemper of other people around you, but you're literally trapped in a like psychokinetic cognitive prison of that you don't even know is there. And like you're seeing these people are asking you questions, you're saying like you're just going to ignore me and something really rude. You could say something obscene, like something truly false and heretical, like VTubers have souls or something. And then what they hear is something entirely different. And no matter how hard you try, they just never hear what you're actually saying. Oh my God, that's horrible. Oh my God, that's actually horrible. Is that how his nose bled? What the fuck? Oh my God, did he punch him in the face? And it was like, oh yeah, just the weather, right?
Okay. Now, what year were you born? Told you. You wouldn't even notice if I punched you in the nose. Thank you for the year. But do you have an exact date? It didn't give you a fucking year.
Hey, stop, but thank you for the follow. We socked him one.
Excuse me. My nose is bleeding.
So, oh my God. So even like the physical of the interaction has changed. Like he didn't feel the fact he got punched in the face. Oh God, that friggin' that begs the question of like, what is reality, man? What is reality? It's like you've gone down the rabbit hole of starting to believe that you are your VTube model, and then you can't discern the difference between reality and what is fiction or fact. And then like, don't like that. So wait. Oh, does that mean that the base was even exploded? Is anything in this video even real? Oh God, this is some existential bullshit. Oh fuck, man. I didn't want to wake up today and think. This is way too many brain cells for me to use. I'm depressed. I'm immensely brain rot. I don't want to use brain.
I'm sorry. That was weird. I've never been prone to random nosebleeds. It's because I fucking punched you. Maybe. Do you know why you can't be hurt? I could say anything. I could do anything. I could say that I'm gonna rape and kill your wife, and you wouldn't even notice. Hell, I could actually rape and kill your wife, and you wouldn't notice.
Oh God, that's...
I'm living in a virtual hell because I can't die.
Yeah, my point.
I'm gonna step outside this room and take a guard's gun.
Oh, wait, that means that the, it's not an electro-phenomenal aura that he has. He's just literally setting all the monsters free. It's not a cognitive, like, dissonant aura that's around him. He's literally the one setting everything free. He's the one causing the catastrophes because nobody can fucking see what he's doing. Oh, that's actually just... Wow. Oh, okay, so this one tells a really wild story because then you read back through it and you realize a lot of the stuff you read at the beginning, you suddenly realize what a lot of that shit meant and why that stuff was happening when you get that little bit of nugget of information that helps you realize what was going on. Oh my God.
I'm gonna shoot myself with that gun, and nothing, fucking nothing, is gonna happen. Do you know what that feels like? To be in a room crowded with people, and they all ignore you. Do you know how hellish my life is? I want to die. That's
How did this happen?
Thank you for your cooperation with today's...
Because it sounds like he was just a guy and then this aura appeared around him.
Okay. This concludes our lecture for today.
What?
Thank you
That's not a lecture! What are we gonna learn from that? You can't just end it there. Oh my God. Okay. Well, that is by far, like, they weren't kidding when they said that this was just a normal guy. But yet, as a normal guy, it's one of the most interesting SCPs that leaves you with so many questions. And that is true horror. That is true storytelling. That is truly how you hook someone in. And I think the Vulcan does a great job of depicting these SCPs in a way that leaves you with more questions than answers, that leads you to want to know more. That is so good.
Much for listening, if indeed you still are. And you were all dismissed. patreon.com/Vulcan.
I think that's it. Wow, okay, Vulcan never fails to deliver. That was... I love that. That might be one of the simplest, but one of the best SCP entries I've seen from anyone. Not even just the Vulcan, because, like, I'm trying to keep an open eye for more SCP-related content. Maybe we will look at some of the like bigger SCPs, like SCP-3000 at some point. Maybe at some point I'll even do a reading of one of the SCPs myself, which could be kind of fun. And maybe I get Tia here in to join me for it. Assuming they're still awake. Smile.
I'm right here.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have suggestions for other SCP-related content or other videos you'd like me to see, please leave a comment in the comments below, and the video for this will be linked in the description. Yeah, come join us on Twitch, come join us on Discord, check out the Patreon for early access and for parts of videos. There's a lot of parts of these videos that are cut out for YouTube purposes that will stay in on Patreon. So for early access, for exclusive content, supporting the channel, helping fund my own original content that I'll plan on making in the near future, go check out the Patreon. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!